somebody else, and that guy that is not able to do the right thing and he misuses your product, you can actually cause someone's thing to happen. And this is one more feedback to you guys, right? Because as you grow into life, into stuff, data privacy and data concerns is going to be very important for everybody. So people are going to use your things right now. If you look at it, the next particular day, the oil was considered as one of the bigger commodity for you to make a difference. But in the next generations, the data is going to be the biggest commodity for you to make money or even to be a market differentiator. But yeah, coming back to your original question about looking at various things, I think that's what the healthcare sector. Second part, if you want to be in healthcare sector, you need to be very clear that you are a person who can update your skills on a regular basis. Okay, for example, if you are the taxes or if you are in taxing, if you change something in wealth management or rest of things, the taxes change, but the taxes change once a year or maybe once in few years. So you don't need to keep yourself updated part of it. Whereas in healthcare, you move from one project to one product to another product or one company another product. That entire technology changes, the market segment changes, the way you do the customer profile changes. So I think that is one more thing which is going to be something, a piece of advice for all you folks who are looking at in this aspect. Because if you wanted to have a development in the healthcare sector. So let me rephrase myself. First and foremost, this particular sector, this gives a lot of emotional satisfaction. So you should be a little bit more, if you are having a little bit more altruistic nature in life and do something giving back to society, and you have something to look for, I think those are set of people will have better particular success in the healthcare. Second, you should be a lifelong learner, because if you are unable to learn new things, if you are unable to equip yourself for the next stuff, in the healthcare sector, compared to some of the other specific sectors, then this system, because the market will change and based on what kind of job you do. And the third thing is, in terms of this aspect, is that your consumer and organization buying in this aspect always changes. And in India, it is different, totally different. Let's say, for example, your consumer behavior in Chennai is totally different from a consumer behavior in let's say in a city like Bangalore. And you have the socio-economic factors creeping into picture on a regular basis. So that's what. So those are the people who like to have the consumer orientation kind of a model to look for, or this another set of people who will be interested to have a long career in the healthcare sector. One more thing, it's important for you guys to understand. Many times people feel that once you go into healthcare, you will not be able to come out from healthcare. You will not be able to be successful in healthcare. I think that is wrong, because if you are in healthcare, I can tell you that you can actually go into a lot of other particular places. But for example, if you get into tax, you can always be getting into tax. There's no way after 10 years of taxation, somebody else will allow you to get into healthcare. If you are into healthcare, even after 10 years in healthcare, you can segment into a lot of other things in terms of because it's a generic sector, not a specialized sector, which is more individual based in stuff rather than the skill or the rather than the ecosystem say. For example, if you are in banking and insurance, if you are into insurance for 10 years, many times people will not be able to come back and move out from insurance. You're stuck with the insurance, nobody will give you something back into banking. Whereas in healthcare, you can move into FCMG, in other particular stuff. Tomorrow, if you need to look for, even you can take into move into other particular product development things. You can move from healthcare, you can move into oil and gas industries. You can, because the philosophies, the market segmentation, whether it's a B2B model or a B2C model, you will be able to get all that exposure in this aspect of it. That's what is my few particular sense of in terms of what I feel as for the PGDM folks to have an opportunity in the healthcare sector. Okay. Any other questions, Irish?
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I don't think there are more questions from our side because it was very informative and we got to know all our queries. So thank you so much for that.
Perfect. Okay, folks. Thanks a lot. I mean,
Thank you.
if anything else, let me know part of it. But I'm like, all the best in your life. All the luck part of it. It's a great particular opportunity. You're in a very esteemed, reputed institution. I was just looking at at the rating of your institutions and rest of the stuff to look for. So I think and I also was looking at in your website and placements as well as your way of thinking of how you are being taught. So I'm very happy to see this kind of a new wave of thinking, and which is currently being taught. And I also looked at your courses. I think rather than more of a theory, I look at some of these things. It's more practical oriented, which actually help you in your career. And I look for so hopefully you guys will do exactly well in each or in whatever you want to pick going forward, and all the best in your life. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable experience and insights and learnings with us. I'm sure students would have learned a lot from this session. Best wishes for your future endeavors, sir. Thank you so much, students, for being a part of this session as well.
Okay. Thanks a lot, folks.
Thank
Take
you
care
so much,
and all
sir,
the
for
best.
allowing us to have an interactive session with you. It was very much learning, even for me as a faculty. Many things I learn about the healthcare sector from your side, sir, today.
Sure. No problem.
Thank you so much. Good day, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Take care,
Have
folks.
a great day.
Bye.